We are talking about the story of success. I must give full credit to my parents, and especially my mother. I wanted always to become a sea captain, a ship captain. In 1963, if I remember well, Abdel Nasser insisted that our trucks be in the military parade for the top people of world, and other places in the world came to see the factory. I remember one of them, Ceausescu, for example, at that time President of Romania, came to see the factory, Boumediene, and many others. I don't remember all of them. So in late 1967, I became the president of this company. I told you I was the appointed president of the Federation of Egyptian Industry. As my job, I represented the Federation in the ILO conference, which is always held in June in Geneva, and also was elected. I was the president of one of these conferences, which was a big, for Egypt it was a big success actually.
On memorizing this story of successful controller views inside Egypt and around the world, each time we'll be bringing you compelling and inspiring profiles. Each and every story gets us closer to people who have the power to bring in change and make a difference. We'll be bringing you the full story behind the name. Today we have a multifaceted personality who is engaging, internationally successful in both ways. As an engineer and a photographer, right now we'll be painting his picture.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for hosting me in this program. And if we are talking about the story of success, I must give full to my parents, and especially my mother. They were backing me from the very beginning, and this was a very important factor in my success. So I want to start by this. Now, when I was young, unfortunately I was rather weak child, so I couldn't go to the kindergarten or the very primary schools, and I started immediately with the primary schools. And this resulted that I was always young in all the classes that I attended. I got my توجيهية of the secondary school certificate at the age of 15, and I got my BSc from the engineering faculty of engineering Alexandria University at the age of 20, which was a record really. And I got the certificate of BSc engineering with distinction.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what got you into engineering, and later on what made you make this twist into photography?
What got me in engineering? Actually, I was very, very fond of the sea, and I wanted always to become a sea captain, ship captain.
Yeah.
Because I was very fond of the sea, and we were always living on board of the sea in Alexandria.
Yeah.
But my parents refused, and because I got a very high grades in my توجيهية in my secondary school, I could easily go into engineering. So that was my second choice, and I submitted to the University of Fuad at that time, or Cairo University now, and I was admitted immediately to the Faculty of Engineering. And this is how I entered the Faculty of Engineering in Cairo.
Now another twist to photography. What was that thing that made you make this twist to photography?
Well, photography comes later, and I will tell you the story.
Yeah.
Well, I continued in the Cairo University for 2 years, and then at that time the Alexandria University was inaugurated, so I shifted my studies to Alexandria, and at that time it was named Farouk University.
Yeah.
So I changed my studies to Farouk University, and I got my BSc in 1946 from Farouk University with distinction. After that, I wanted to work in a company actually in Alexandria, and submitted many applications to companies in Alexandria, but I was once surprised by reading Al-Ahram at that time, and reading that the Minister of Public Work, Osman Muharram at that time, decided to employ the first 3 graduates from Farouk and Fuad University in the Ministry of Work, and send them to get doctor's degree abroad. And I found my name one of the 3. And that was a big surprise, a very good surprise for me, of course. And actually, a few days later, I was called to go to the Ministry of Public Work in Cairo, where they told me that I was really appointed in the ministry, and I am a candidate to go and get the doctorate degree from any university to my choice. Well, my first choice was go to the United States, but at that time, after the war, the United States universities were all full, so my second choice was Zurich in Switzerland. And so in October 46, I found myself in Zurich as a student for attending the or for getting the doctorate degree from Zurich University, or at that time it was called ETH Technische Hochschule, or Technical High School. To get, it was a very renowned and very, very celebrated university at that time for engineering. So I started my studies there to get my doctorate degree. And after about 4.5 years, I succeeded in 1951 to get my doctorate degree in engineering from Zurich in the Technical High School. This is with regard to my studies. After that, I worked for 3 months in a Swiss company to get practice, and I went back to Cairo, supposedly as an employee in the Ministry of Public Work. However, well, I forgot to tell you that when I got the doctor's degree, I got a letter from the Minister of Public Work, Osman Muharram at that time, congratulating me and telling me that I got the 5th degree in the ministry, which was at that time a good degree at that time. So I went to the ministry to get my job in the 5th degree, but they told me, sorry, they forgot to appoint me before going in the mission, so I had to be appointed in the 6th degree, which I refused, and I went to Alexandria University, and they accepted me to join the staff in the Alexandria University. Back to photography. Actually, when I was in Zurich, I bought a camera and I started photographing. As a normal photograph, I mean, I didn't give it much time at that time. However, I read once an advertisement in the newspaper in Zurich that ACFA is buying color slides and paying a good price for them. So I decided to try my luck. I sent them about 10 color slides, and to my surprise, they bought 3 of them and paid me well for them. That was the beginning, because it was very encouraging. At that time I was short of money, so getting some good money from ACFA, I found another channel, photography, to earn some money to help me with the study and living in Zurich. And this is how I started, actually, loving photography and taking it as a hobby all over my life after that. Coming back to Alexandria, I joined the camera club, and again, to my surprise, I got as a first winner in an exhibition they arranged in Alexandria, which encouraged me more and more to adapt photography as my hobby parallel to my work.
How did you manage to reconcile success, both of them together?
Well, of course, I work in university was top priority. Teaching, so I had to read much. I had to make big effort to be to the standard of an assistant professor